Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the 5-day Simply Social Drinker Experience. So we're on day 3 now, and today we're going to talk about the truth about cravings and willpower, what they are, what they're not, and how to release them. So I'll do a quick recap over day 1 and day 2, but I really strongly advise you to go back and watch the first 2 days training sessions, because changing your drinking is not hard. It is new. It's a new approach. It's a different approach, and it needs to be, because the approaches of control, mindfulness, limitation, and boundaries around alcohol do not work. And on this 5-day Simply Social Drinker Experience, I'm going to tell you exactly what does work and why it works. And I'm giving you the path to freedom. So I do strongly advise, if you haven't seen day 1 and 2, you watch that. Both of those, as with day 3, 4, and 5, come with workbooks. So I want you to watch the trainings. Let what you learn that's new settle, and it will settle in the right place because it's the truth. Go through the workbooks which help you embed what you have learned, practice what you've learned, and you will change your drinking with grace and ease. Not with stress, not with struggle. So day 1 was the foundation day, where we went through, where I brought into your awareness a couple of truths. The first one is alcohol cannot change. If there is a day that you can drink less, then you can drink less any day. If there's a day where you can stay away from alcohol completely, you can stay away from alcohol on any day. Some of you might want to stop drinking completely. Some of you just don't want to be trapped in the destructive cycle of your daily mind battle and daily drinking. You just want to be, and you want to be able to drink socially and take it or leave. You want to be a taker or leaver. Both of those are completely possible. And when you understand the foundation that alcohol cannot change, so what it is one day, it is every day. And if there's a day where you can drink less, you can drink less every day. And if there is a day when you cannot drink at all, you cannot drink any day, because alcohol doesn't change. The second thing is, you don't have a relationship with alcohol. You have a relationship with yourself around what you believe alcohol brings to you. And it always comes under the umbrella of comfort. And the third thing is, so you're not fighting yourself. So that you're not fighting alcohol on a daily basis. Alcohol isn't contributing to the relationship at all. Alcohol is not speaking to you, it can't. Alcohol isn't pulling you, it can't. You don't have a relationship with alcohol. You have a relationship with what you believe alcohol brings you. And the third point is, problem drinking is a set of beliefs. That's what it is. And I talked through what a belief is. And it doesn't matter when the belief was created or even how. What matters is that you maintain it now. And right now, you believe that alcohol brings you something under the umbrella of comfort, whether it's rest, calm, relaxation, time out. Blocking out is comfort from the way you're feeling. Numbing out is comfort from the way you're feeling. And you have learned to believe alcohol brings you that in intention, although that's not the result. And that is why you are trapped, because your beliefs are the feelings that you hold, and your beliefs live in your unconscious mind, which controls 98% of your behavior. So when you think, for Christ's sake, don't drink tonight, look at the way you behaved last night, look at the pain in my child's eyes, look at the damage I'm doing to my relationship, I'm going to lose my job. You know that you need to stay away from alcohol, and yet you feel it brings you something. And if you didn't feel it brought you something, you could easily change your drinking. And the last part, foundation of day 1, is the only difference between someone who does struggle to change their drinking and someone who doesn't struggle to change their drinking, someone who is a problem drinker and someone who is a simply social drinker, someone who can't stop at 1 or 2 and someone who can easily stop at 1 or 2, is those that don't struggle with their drinking do not have the belief it brings them something. That's it, that's all. So that was day 1, the foundation. Day 2 was about your wine, which some of you might call it the voices in your head, the devil and the angel, whatever. When you try to stop yourself doing something that brings you comfort, you don't understand it, you go into stress and struggle, and your wine witch comes up with a kinder, softer, gentler voice to comfort, to contradict the, for God's sake, don't, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? And it's just the one. It'll be different this time. You deserve it. You can start again tomorrow. It's not as bad as you think. That's your wine witch. And if you think about that, and I want you to watch day 2 again, that is your way of justifying yourself, your comfort. It's a feeling within you, and you act on what you feel. And the more harsh you are in beating yourself up, and the what's wrong with you, look what you're doing, it's destroying your health, the stronger the desire for comfort gets. And that's what your wine witch is trying to do, trying to comfort you, not to hurt you, to comfort you. And if you don't struggle with alcohol, you will recognize this in a struggle with food, or with shopping, or with gambling. The intention behind your destructive behaviors is to bring you comfort. The result is they are destroying your life. And of course, alcohol is a highly addictive drug, and that's not why you return to it over and over again. You return to it because of the belief that it brings you comfort. And in the first instance, because it is a powerfully addictive drug, it does bring you that instant hit of relief and release. And it's the quickest way that doesn't deliver, but it is the quickest way to deliver, destroying your health, your relationship with your children, your marriages, your work. So the intention is very, very different from the result. So it's all a holistic whole. And today we're going to talk about cravings and willpower. I love this session. I'm really excited about this session. I'm excited about all of them, but when I'm able to deliver what actually people are like, okay, I got it, it makes a change, and giving them that chink, that aha moment, that little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, which when you become curious and investigate, just blows it all open. Blows it all open. And for those of you that might not have seen day 1 or 2, my name is Sonia Grimes. I am the life recovery coach. I struggled with alcohol for 28 years. I struggled with binge eating, self-harming. I was a very wounded, hurt person who had no awareness of why I was drinking, and it was always to make me feel better. And the more I struggled not to drink, the more I tried to fight with myself, the more I tried to beat myself up, the more I tried to deny myself what at that time I believed brought me comfort, the harder my struggle became, and the more trapped I became, and the more weak and the more of a failure I became, and the more in need of comfort I became. And suddenly I changed my drinking about 7 or 8 years ago. I don't even know how long ago now. And I occasionally have a glass of wine. I can take it or leave it. I can sit with a glass of wine or champagne for a couple of hours, just sipping slowly, because I no longer have the belief within me that it brings me something. Plus, I have a structure and a way of living that gifts me freedom and peace of mind, joy, happiness, love, regardless of life situations. I understand myself. I understand my needs. I know how to comfort myself. I know how to protect myself, not from alcohol, from my negative thoughts and feelings. I know how to, I am connected with myself. So, and that actually is key to changing your drinking. So, cravings and willpower. Let me just see if anybody has any questions. Excuse me looking down. I'm doing this on Zoom, and I'm also live in our lovely private Facebook groups. I'm just going to see if anyone has any questions for me. If you have, please put them in the group. This is a free 5-day experience to give you a clearer understanding, to end the confusion of why you do what you do when you hate what you do. So, hello, ladies. Hello, ladies. Lovely to see you here. So, you don't crave alcohol. You don't crave alcohol. You crave comfort. And the times, if you think about it now, when your cravings are strongest, they are when you are either deepest in your mind battle of, for God's sake, what is wrong with you? Don't do it. And the other side saying, come on, just the one, it'll be different this time. And you go into fear and stress about the madness that's going on in your head. And that's what it feels like. You go, the madness. and you become more stressed, more anxious, further from comfort, and your craving for comfort gets stronger. And again, someone who doesn't struggle with alcohol would recognize this absolutely in food, where you're brought to tears trying to not eat the biscuits and you're eating them, or gambling, or and you're putting your bloody week's wages on a bet, and you want, or shopping, you're buying things that you can't afford, and you're still compelled to buy them. And the more you go into stress and struggle, the stronger the desire, the craving is, because the more in stress and struggle you are, the further you are from comfort. Does that make sense? I know it does. So the days where you are further from comfort, further from peace, further from balance, the stronger your cravings are. The more you are beating yourself up, the stronger your cravings are. And it's about being in balance. When you are in balance, when you're happy, when you're at peace, the cravings are either non-existent or they're so small that you can deal with them. Now, a lot of people say, okay, I understand I'm further from comfort, I'm further from balance. So that explains why I crave when I am going down, when my mood is low. But what about when I'm really happy and I'm craving a drink, or I think, oh, it'll be fine, it'll be fine. What happens then is there are more than one way of being out of comfort. One of them definitely is to be down, but the other is to be up, too high, overexcited, overwhelmed, over, and then you are still not in comfort. You are over as opposed to being under. So while a lot of people can understand why they crave, desire, feel the need, whatever, however you describe it, when they are low, and can't understand, I'm having a really good time, it's fantastic, I love it. Your energy, you're still out of balance, you're still out of comfort. And that's why when you're up, the desire, although it can feel different, is just as strong. But there's one even more destabilizing further from comfort. And that's when you're up and then you sink down, you're tired, and then you go out and you go up again. Or you're in a, maybe you're feeling a little bit insecure, but you're in a lovely place. That you seesawing up and down is actually the most destabilizing, and when you crave alcohol most, or food, or shopping, or gambling. So that's what cravings are in a nutshell. And I'm keeping these trainings short so that you watch them, so that you don't have to invest too much time, although this will be the best investment of your life, so that you can watch, reflect, let it settle, think of the times where you have felt out of control around alcohol, where you have thought, I just have to have a drink. And then I want you to think about those times. I want you to think about what preceded those times. I want you to think about the thoughts you were having and the feelings that those thoughts created. And you'll be able to join the dots that you couldn't see before, because the dots aren't in front of your eyes, they're behind them. So what's willpower? And why doesn't willpower work? Willpower is you trying to stop yourself offering comfort. The greater your craving, the desire for alcohol is, the more you need to rely on your willpower, and your willpower cannot work because you are trying to stop yourself delivering the comfort that is the intention behind your drinking. It's not the result, it is the intention. So the lower you are, you think, oh God, just a drink would just help. And you go, no, don't do that. And you try to apply willpower, and you try to be strong. You try to beat yourself up. What you're trying to do is you're trying to be strong in your denial of comfort. What you are trying to do is be strong, willpower, the strength in beating yourself up to deny yourself the comfort that you intention, the intention behind it is. Beliefs are very, very confusing because they're symbolic. They don't have a language as such, they are feelings. So the more you feel you need a drink, the more willpower you need, and the more you feel you need a drink, the less your willpower would work. Now, there will be other days where you will think, oh, my willpower is really strong today. But if you take a couple of steps back, you will recognize that your cravings weren't as great. You will recognize on the days where your willpower felt strong that you didn't have the desire for alcohol you have when your willpower feels weak. Your willpower doesn't get stronger or weaker. Your desire for the comfort of alcohol is stronger or weaker. When your desire for comfort is stronger or weaker. When your desire for comfort, alcohol, is weak, your willpower feels strong. It's just not needed. When your desire for comfort and alcohol is strong, your willpower doesn't stand a chance. Your willpower does not stand a chance. So you only, cravings and willpower always show up at the same time. You don't have willpower without cravings, because without cravings, you don't need willpower. It's not called into play. You only need willpower when you are in need of comfort. And whilst you have the belief within you that alcohol brings you comfort. Does that make sense? I'm just going to check my phone again, see if there's any questions. Excuse me. I'm a fantastic coach, and I'm rubbish at technology. So let me just check in the group now. Just check in the group now. Okay, so there's no questions. If you do have questions, please put them in. And as I say, I'm going to keep these short and sweet because they don't need to be long. Changing your drinking, going from a problem drinker to a simply social drinker, or going from a problem drinker to a not at all drinker, is not hard. It is only hard when your focus is on alcohol, when your focus is on trying to control, limit, be mindful, avoid alcohol, when you have the belief that alcohol brings you comfort. When you no longer have the belief that alcohol brings you comfort, you do not struggle with alcohol. None of my clients for the rapid alcohol, oh, that's not true actually. Very few of my clients who come to the rapid alcohol recovery method, which is my one-to-one process, most of them change within the first week. I started working with someone about 2 weeks ago who was drinking the best part of a bottle of scotch a night, mainly because she was so frightened and confused about what was going on and being caught in the trap. And she was getting further and further and further from comfort. She was just spiraling down. And now she's enjoying a couple of glasses of wine with her husband. I think 2 was the most she had at dinner. And she cannot believe how easy it's been to change. And we don't focus on alcohol other than where are you now? Where do you want to be? Initially, she said she wanted to be able to drink 3 or 4 nights a week, but that was out of fear of not being able to stop. And that's understandable. And now, through a different set of awarenesses, through a different set of perceptions, through different approaches, from different understandings, from different insights, with different strategies, she's changed her drinking easily, as anyone who looks outside of what we currently believe to be true, which is focus on alcohol. The more you focus on alcohol as the problem, you miss the whole truth about it. It's a belief. Your drinking is a set of belief systems. That alcohol brings you comfort, that change will be hard. How will you cope? How will you be fun? All those sorts of things. They're just beliefs, nothing more or less. Without those beliefs, you become like every other person who can take it or leave it. That's the only difference. So this is what cravings and willpower are. I don't even know how I used to think about them. I used to think I was weak and a failure and didn't have willpower. Now I understand that I only needed willpower to stop myself doing something that I thought in intention brought me comfort. And the result was actually that it wrecked my life, my health, destroyed relationships, hurt my son. And the intention behind it all was comfort. You can easily go from being a problem drinker to a simply social drinker, easily. And there is nothing greater in life than the peace of mind and the freedom that comes with it. So I will put the workbook up later. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it made sense. When you listen to it with an open mind, take a couple of deep breaths, it will completely make sense. You don't change on what you know, though, because if you did, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be struggling. You change on what you feel. You change on what you feel. And at any time, you have the power and the ability and the self-responsibility to change how you feel. life transformation comes when your life transforms when you act differently. To act differently, you have to feel differently. To feel differently, you have to think differently. To think differently, you need a different perception of the world. That's it. In any area of your life. That's it. That's all. Have a lovely afternoon. I will be with you tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to be talking about the stop-start cycle, because that seems to be something that comes up a lot. That will be day 4. When you have committed to watching these and acting on the very simple, short messages, you will easily change your drinking. And on day 5, I'm going to give you my 4-step process of how to make the best choices in the moment, so that you're not in struggle and stress. And it's a beautiful little technique to tie up at the end. So have a lovely afternoon, and I will speak to you tomorrow. As always, be very kind and gentle with yourselves.